This episode is proof that healing can turn into a beautiful piece of art, and that being 18 years old does not mean you are too young to share your story. Join me in welcoming Rylin to She's Probably Talking to Other Guys. We're diving into her journey as an author and so much more, as well as a special announcement. Before we dive into our chat with Rylin, let's do a quick recap of last week. Episode 14 was Pumpkins, Parties, and Assumptions, where we talked all things fall, October, and of course, Halloween costumes. If you need a hype girl to help you get ready for Halloween, tune into this episode before your next Halloween party. Just a friendly reminder, I am not a therapist, psychologist, or expert in human behavior of any kind. Everything I share comes from personal experience, opinions, and lots of conversations over coffee with friends. If you're struggling with something deeper, I always encourage talking to a licensed professional. As always, this is a judgment-free, assumption-checking zone. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Today we have Rylin here on She's Probably Talking to Other Guys, and I'm so excited that she's joining us today. I want to pass it over to Rylin for a second so she can introduce herself to all of you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rylin. I hope everyone listening is having an iced coffee with this, episode, because I feel like that's so on par for me. I am a 18-year-old, almost 19. I have like 9 days. So when this comes out, maybe I will be 19. Who knows? Published author and global podcast host. I'm also literally just a girl. I'm studying nutrition and psychology in college, which you're probably like, what? I graduated high school at 15, so I'm in my master's right now. But I'm just passionate about helping people and helping heal the world. And I love Annie so much. I had her on my podcast, Take Care of Your Body by Rye, and just knowing her and being able to look up to her is such an honor. And I'm so honored to be here and talk to you guys. Well, have you guys listened to me talk, because we both yap for a living. So
True. It's true. We go on and on all the time.
it's okay. It's okay though. It's fine. It's our thing. Other people, they can't yap, but we can because we have a podcast. So we're excused.
And I think I'm going to say the worst part, just because I feel like it might become something I eventually need to control, is that I'm getting better and better at yapping as I keep working on this podcast. So I think I'm going to need to start putting a timer on so it can stop me and remind me of how long I've just been going on for.
No, truly. It's so funny because I just used to be so shy, and you would if you knew me in high school or in middle school, you'd be like, she was gonna have a podcast? No, this girl wouldn't even raise her hand. And now I'm just chatty, chatty, chatty. It's so funny. You start a podcast and suddenly you're not shy anymore. It just goes out the window.
Love that though. Yay. Today's episode is called Becoming the Main Character, because I feel like that's exactly what you did by sharing your story. I have her book right here, Once Upon a Time I Survived Myself. This is the book that she wrote, which I just find incredibly inspiring. The fact that you made this and you put all of this together, and that this is a little piece of you. I feel like that's just something that's so special. And now not only do you have it for yourself, the world has it, and the world has the possibility of getting it, which I just think is so, so cool. And I'm really proud of you, because that's awesome that you did this.
Oh, I love you. Thank you for being you. When I say I look up to you, I don't just say that because it's pretty or it sounds nice. I love what you do with your creation and your art and your shop and just what you stand for. And I see you and I'm when I grow up, I hope I can be half the woman she is, because you're so strong, you're so talented, you're so multi-creative. You don't stick to just one thing. You're so expressive. I was obsessed when I saw what you were going to do with the home decor thing the other day. I was like, excuse me? I'm pulling up. Let's decorate your house together. Let me be a part of this.
Not to interrupt you, but something got delivered today on the topic of home decorating, and
Oh my God.
really so excited. I posted in these little overalls that I had on. I'm totally putting those back on to work on the project that was delivered. So to be continued, but
I can't wait.
I think even you'll be shocked by this one, and this is going to definitely test not only my strength, but
Just my ability to complete this on my own. So
I'm
thank
excited.
you.
I know I truly look up to you so much, and I just think you're such a badass, and you really show the world like you don't have to be a male to do hard, strong things. Which, if you think that in 2025, wake up because women can do anything.
Yes, 100%.
You can blur that out too. I don't know if we're allowed to say bad words.
I don't know. I don't want to mark this episode as explicit too. I used a word in my this week's episode that came out, and it was part of a quote from Mean Girls.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't want to repeat it here because I don't want to mark our episode with explicit. But if you listen to it, you'll know what the word I was talking about because I said it and then I was like, oh, I don't know if I even need to bleep this out or not. I'm not sure.
Well, I'll keep a clean mouth.
It's okay. If
Right.
I need to beep anything out, I'll just ask you what sound you want me to use anytime you say something, and you can choose the sound that
You
I'll
can
bleep
use
it out
a
with.
magic wand one, the like little,
Okay.
the sparkles or whatever. I feel like that'd be
All
so
right.
cute.
No. So if you say anything, I'll just throw in a little magic wand
Make
sound.
me a
And
little fairy.
let's get started with your story. So, how did you start writing Once Upon a Time I Survived Myself?
It's so funny because I've been writing this book, or well, I wrote this book over the course of 2 years, and I told no one. I was like, I'm always the kind of person that I'll have an idea come to mind, or I'll have like something come to mind. I'll be grocery shopping, or I'll be doing the most random thing. And then next thing you know, I'm like voice memoing in my phone, like just these thoughts or ideas, or like literally this long paragraph of what now like is a chapter for people to read, which I find crazy. When you said the whole thing about like the world has my book, I'm like, yeah, they do, which is like scary, but really cool at the same time. So it kind of just started out as like ideas and just things I was journaling down as I was going through this really hard time in my life. And then next thing you know, I was like, I've always loved to be creative and I always loved writing and I grew up writing. And again, I was really shy in middle school and in high school. So I would like hide behind my journal and I would just write how I felt or write what was going on, always observing, never speaking. And I had a journalism teacher in high school who believed in me, and she was like, your writing is amazing, like I hope you know that, I don't want you to ever lose that. And she actually inspired me to start my podcast, and she unfortunately passed away, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to do my podcast in her honor. And then from me doing my podcast, I was like, holy crap, I just started a podcast at 17, I can do anything. And then I was like, you know what, let me go back to that like random Google Doc of just my experiences and just this poetic format I used to express myself. And then maybe I'll turn it into a book. And then I took it really seriously. And recently, or well, I guess this year, I picked it back up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to turn it into a book to help people survive and heal. And that's what I did. And I really got cracking in November. I was like, November of last year, I was like, let's do this, because you know what? If I felt these things and I was going through something like this, someone else needs to read this and needs to hear that they're not alone in their experiences. And that's why I do everything I do. My podcast, my posting, like I just want people to realize they're not as alone as they may feel in whatever they're going through. And there's always someone out there who feels the same way. And I think it's scary to share your story and to put yourself out there, but it's almost like it's selfish if you don't, because if you don't share your story, then you're not going to give someone the ability to feel seen. And it's like, I'd rather have people feel less alone than me feel embarrassed that I put myself out there publicly, if you know what I'm saying.
I got you. It's always, I feel like, nerve-wracking
Oh, it
to
is.
that post button, especially if it's something that's kind of like either a new post or something. I almost feel like it's harder when you really care about something because you want others to
Right.
feel the same way when you post it. So then when you post it and then you're like waiting for feedback and sometimes it
And
doesn't
it
come
feels,
right
it feels like
away.
rejection. No, it does. And it's like, that's what I've also learned. A lot of what I do is like literally a piece of my heart. It's my story, my life, whatever. Like this book is literally me in book format. So I got like just the most like anxiety after I hit publish. I was like, ew, this means people can like hate on a part of me. Like, what do you mean? I'm gonna go hide in the corner. Like, that's disgusting. People are gonna know about my life. But then I was like, you know what? This book could save a lot of people, and a lot of people have gotten it. And I'm just like so honored and so amazed at how many people it's helping. And I just get these messages like once a day, like, keep writing, this book is amazing, or this chapter really changed my perspective. I'm like, yeah, that's why I do what I do.
I love that so much. Oh,
There are good people in the world. They're not all horrible.
yeah.
You
Does
know.
your like heart like skip a beat if I use that phrase whenever you see an order come in for your book?
Yeah, truly. I'm like another person has my story in their house. And then I guess what I love about books, it's like when you write something and you publish it, it's like it's permanent. That's forever. That is not going to change. So it's almost like my book will forever be with that person, and they can go look back and highlight and just like keep it for as long as they want to have it. And it just like makes my heart so warm that my book is sitting probably on someone's bookshelf and next to maybe some like huge bestseller. And I'm just like, wow, like I'm a piece of my heart is in someone's house, in their life, in their worlds, and that just makes me so emotional.
Oh, I love that. I feel like it's gonna end up right on my bookshelf when I'm
Oh,
done with it, and it's gonna be right next to, I don't know if I'm gonna say her name wrong, Brianna Weist, in the 101 essays that will change the way you think, and
I
like
love
all
that
of
lady.
her collection of books, because I think I have almost every book of hers by now, so yours will be in good company because maybe
Oh,
maybe it'll be like a little bit of manifesting if I put your book next to hers.
I love her so much. I just like I'm so amazed by her, and just that entire like it literally did what the title says. Like I was like, wow, like why was I viewing life in such a black and white way when this book can really show you like if you shift your perspective, almost every single thing that we go through can change.
Yeah, it's crazy sometimes, especially when you find a book like that and it does just completely change your perspective. But I want to touch on the inspiration behind your title.
Well, the title is exactly what the title is. I mean, I feel like I almost shedded old versions of myself and finally became the woman I am proud to say I am. But, it's weird to like go through like to be where you are and to have like your dream life almost. I mean, obviously it changes every day and it's a work in progress, but I'm really grateful. Like younger me would look up to me, and that's like that's my bucket list. That's what I wanted. Like I wanted to be someone that she'd be like, holy crap, I get to be her. So I mean, we're there, which that's amazing. If I don't reach any other status in my life, that's okay. Younger me would think I'm cool, so we're good. um but it's almost like I wanted to honor every single version of who I was and what I went through, and I felt like that title really took that and showed like we all survive ourselves every single day. I mean, we survive Mondays, we survive heartbreak, we survive chronic illness, and just the most daunting things that sometimes we're like, how am I ever going to get through this? We always end up getting through it. And I wanted that title to show that I survived some horrible experiences in my life that I really did not think would end up on a positive note. And I turned, some crappy things into this beautiful brand I'm building, and into this book, and into this podcast, and into me being who I am today. And if I can do it, so can you. And I just thought that title was beautiful. And I love fairy tales. So of course we had to go with the princess. Once upon a time I survived myself. No happily ever after. The happily ever after is choosing yourself and loving who you are.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That sounds so
you
cute.
gotta
I
you
love
gotta put
that.
that on your merch. You're gonna have to create like a sweatshirt that says that.
Okay, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do a collab.
Boss baddie, we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk. Everyone on Instagram. Instagram's not going to be okay that day. They're going to be like, "Whoa, another Annie and Rye collab again? We got two podcasts and now a line? What?"
There you go. Let's go into your assumptions. Again, full disclosure, I have no idea what her answers are. I don't know what her assumptions are. I do this because I want you to see or to hear my genuine reaction, because sometimes assumptions can be wild. Do you want to start with any that you have that are not related to the questions I'm going to ask you?
Yeah, I will go with someone was like, you must have a ghostwriter. How do you do all this while being a college student? I was like, I wish I had someone that like did every single part of this chapter, part of these chapters for me. But it's like, I think it's funny because it's like you can look at like some popular book and maybe think that, but when it's about your life, I don't think someone else could be writing about the experiences. I'm like, nah, babe, I went through them. I experienced them. Unfortunately, like I'm the one writing them. Someone said that, and then another person was like, did you have your mom write it? I was like, what? Like, I love my mom. My mom's a great writer, but no, I wrote this entire thing myself, and I lived it, I wrote it, and I published it. So those are some two huge ones I got. And then yeah, I'm ready for your questions. Oh,
All right. I actually did not know that your mother was also a writer. That just like inspired me to ask, did she inspire your book or kind of like lead it a certain way, or did you just like full on just go for it?
I full on went for it. Like, I truly think a lot of my creative background, though, like, my mom was like huge in journalism in high school. And just like, I think a lot of that creativity aspect to me comes from her. And she actually has a chapter in the book. You'll eventually get to it. But I just admire her so much. She's such a badass and just such a good role model for me to have had growing up. And just like, still, even though I'm an adult, like, I still look up to her and just like, truly, I'm like, damn, that's my mom. Like, okay, I'm fine. I got this, guys. I'm gonna be a great, woman. Um, so I just everything I do, I always like in the back of my head, I'm like, would my mom be proud? The answer is always yes. She's always proud of me. My mom brags about me. I don't talk about myself. My mom will. Don't worry. We'll have her on your podcast. She'll just, um, go all day. And then the second one is like, what would she want? Like, what would she do? What would she like? What would she write this as? And then I would kind of think about that, and I was like, okay, let's like take her advice and make it into the most Rylin way possible. So I would say a little bit, like, unconsciously, she's my inspiration, you know.
I love that. That's so
Yeah, you
cute.
love moms.
It's so important too, especially I think when you feel like you're naturally a creative person, to have
Yeah,
another creative person in your life, like even though you might have different perspectives on
or
it,
aesthetics.
yeah, you can totally like mesh them together. Someone that I know from the ballroom industry, he always says, you can create something alone that's amazing, but when you can like work with someone else and create something together, you can truly like end up with something that is like so unmatched because you just put like two creative people together to put something together. So,
I agree, and I feel like sometimes we can look at things one way, but we need someone else's entire like eyes to be like, nope, you should, fix this or fix that. Because if we're just the one doing it, we might not notice a different detail that would look honestly better than what we had in mind. I feel like
Mhm.
collaborating is so beautiful.
It really is. That's why I really like collaborating with you. I feel like we just get
We
it.
work well together. We do. Because we have like very similar aesthetics girly wise, but I feel like we're also like we're very similar people, but you're me just wiser and mature and more feminine. And I'm like you, but like cute and soft and sunshiny girl.
Oh my gosh, I love this. I feel like that needs to come together as a sweatshirt somehow.
Yeah, I'm gonna like be texting all these ideas like Annie, I got this
Please
one.
do.
I will.
Please do.
I will.
All right, so let's go into some of the questions. So, what's the funniest or wildest assumption someone's made about you as an author?
I would say that well, it's weird because I'm so young. So I feel like a lot of things in my life, people have looked at me like, oh, you're so lucky, or you're too young to be doing this, or you're too, how do you have a podcast? How do you have a book? Like, how do you even write a book at, they called me 19. I was like, I'm actually 18, but okay. How do you even write a book at 18? And I was like, you know, I don't think age defines anyone. I think when you're young and you write, like, people expect innocence almost, but they don't expect you to already lived through things that require so much healing and so much work and so much depth. Like, I'm 18, but I've lived through probably like 20 different lifetimes, that doesn't mean anything. Like, you could be 18 and so emotionally mature, or you could be 7 and so emotionally mature. Like, age is truly just a number. So I would say people kind of thought like, oh, you're young, like this book isn't actually about you or about what you've experienced because you are young, kind of diminishing my experience because of my age. But I would say writing was how I grew up before the world said I was old enough to.
What's one thing people always get wrong about writing a book?
I would say they think writing is easy. A lot of people think like when you're creative and you have, an idea for a book, it's just going to like come to mind. But a lot of times, at least in my case, I looked at my computer because I'm a digital girl. I don't write on paper. I looked at my computer and I was like, I don't know what to write today. Or like I looked at what I already had written and I deleted it. And I was like, this is not resonating with who I want to who I want to have the world read me as. So it's not as easy as it may come. And you kind of have to sometimes step away from the computer and go soul search or go call your best friend or go talk to someone that really knows you beyond your creative abilities, because then you can kind of sit back down and be like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I went through. Let me get back in touch with whatever version of myself I'm writing in this chapter, or whoever I'm, writing, if maybe you're a fiction writer. But for me, it was like I have to kind of go experience some of the same things again, almost like walk through younger Rylan's shoes to find the words that I wanted to share. But I would say a lot of people think that if you're already creative, it's going to come easy. It doesn't come easy, and you're probably not going to think it's ready to be published. It's so funny because the file for my final version of the book was Rylin, don't touch me, because I knew I would go back and edit it. So I would like read it. I'd be like, where's Once Upon a Time? And I'm like, oh, it's the file Rylin, don't touch me. Right. Because I'm not supposed to go edit it again.
Yeah.
Like I had to like read it. So I knew, don't touch it, Rylin. It's perfect. You liked it 2 days ago. That's the world's gonna see.
That's good because sometimes the overthinking probably kicked in and then
Yeah.
was
And
like,
then I'm
let me
like,
do
oh
that
wait.
one more time.
Right. So sometimes you have to trick your brain. Don't touch me. Okay, I won't. Fine.
I feel like we already touched on this one a little bit, but that's okay. So I think people hear the word author and immediately picture someone older. Do you feel like your age surprised or continues to surprise people?
I would say all the time. Like people throughout my life have always used my age as an excuse to underestimate me. Like, you can't possibly understand love or loss or heartbreak, but I think age doesn't define understanding. Life does. And someone told me, they were like, "You're too young," multiple times in my life. But when I was actually trying to publish my book, I sat down with a publishing company, and the guy was like, "I'm not publishing your book. You're too young." And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start my own publishing company then, because the world needs to hear this book and I'm going to put it out here one way or another. And the guy actually ended up congratulating me when I dropped the book. I was like, yeah, thank you so much. I did this by myself because you didn't want to publish my book. Period. As you should, guys. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. And if they do, then show them that you can your own way. That's the best way. But I think, like you just can't let other people's, if someone's going to say you're too young to do this or to do that, you keep doing it, because it's just background noise at the end of the day, and you just have to keep doing what you love and following your heart. And I just really stopped listening to what people were saying and just started creating instead. And I didn't wait to be older to tell my story. I just told it because I already lived it.
Okay. That was like gave me very much Elle Woods vibes, and I'm totally here for that when you were saying about how you're going to do it anyway. It just like Legally Blonde popped into my head, and you were just giving Elle Woods in the best way possible, and I love that.
I love her so much. That means the world that you just like compare. I'm gonna have to go watch it after we're done. But I just think it's like, you know what? It's so unfortunate that people expect you to, oh, you're 18. What do you know about life? What do you know about experience? Because, like I said, age doesn't define experience. You can just live through so much life as a young adult or as a kid, and then, need a place to put all of it, or want to create something to help others in your situation and help them heal, which I think we all should do in whatever format we can. Creating is beautiful, but I just think it's ridiculous that people can look at someone young and just say, you don't know anything about life, so I don't care. I don't want to help you because you're young. And if we look at the world today, a lot of young artists are creating. I mean, Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, all these young girls are changing the world because of what they're doing despite their age. And you know what? Like, you can't listen to people, truly. People are going to say what they want to say, but it tends to stem from their own insecurities, and maybe they wanted to do what you're doing at their age and someone told them they couldn't. So you just got to keep going because the haters are going to hate, but we keep creating.
It's true. I feel like the phrase I always end up saying is "you do you, boo."
No, exactly. And that's so perfect for Halloween, like the little ghost
That
after
is
that.
true.
Use that for a caption.
There you go. See, so when you see it,
I'll
I'll
be like,
tag you and say inspired by
I'll be like,
Rylin.
that's me.
All right. Next up, there's this idea. Again, I feel like we kind of touched on this a little bit, but there's this idea that publishing is quick and easy. My example of where this question came from is because this is like by no means a promo or anything. Because Amazon has the KDP where they say, oh, you can make whatever you want and then you can submit it here and we're going to sell it on Amazon. So what part of the process shocked you the most that proves that it's not necessarily so quick and easy?
Okay, Annie, I'm going to say this first here, and this is like the first time I'm publicly saying it. I hate the stupid guideline for cover, spine, and back of the cover. It's so annoying, and if I ever have to look at like the red dotted lines one more time in my life, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like, I don't know, end up having Starbucks go bankrupt because I'm going to drink so much coffee. Like, it was so annoying. I sat at my computer and I was like, what is wrong with this? Like, why won't they approve? Because if your cover, for everyone who doesn't know like what I'm talking about, and you just think I'm absolutely insane, but you probably already think that, so it's okay. Amazon has these guidelines that you have to have your cover fit into. And if your cover isn't within the little red dotted line, then it's most likely going to be risked of getting chopped. So you have to make sure everything is inside the red dotted lines. And I sat at my computer for about 4 hours looking at my screen, like everything is within the red lines. What's going on? And I had to have my sister. I love her. I was like, Susan, look at this, please. What am I doing wrong? And then of course she was like, oh, you just have to scooch that over. And I was like, okay. But it's so ridiculous. It has to be so precise and just so perfect, or else they're not going to approve your book. And if there's any little error or any little, thing sticking out, then it's going to take you way longer to get your book pushed out into the world. So I would say the formatting is not as easy as people might think. You have to really have the patience and the eyes and the sleep schedule to make sure that is ready to be published. But yeah, it's not as easy as people might think. Again, like it takes time, and just because like Amazon's like ready and it's there and it's accessible, I mean, you still got to write the book, you got to have the cover, you have to have the chapters, you have to have the back cover, the about the author, all of that ready before you even touch Amazon. So I think a lot of people don't realize how much brain power and creative energy it takes you to really put a book structured together. But yeah, Amazon red lines, I'm gonna go fight you in the boxing ring, because no. For my second book, I'm like trying to even like in my head, I'm trying to like think about the cover already, because I'm like, I don't want this to be chopped off. I don't want that to be chopped off. I cannot like sit on my computer and fight with these red lines one more time.
I hear you. I did experiment with that. I have to admit, when I was thinking, oh, this would be so cool to put something together. And then, yeah, I realized, like, okay, this is like, because people were like, oh, use it. You can make $10,000 a month and this and that. And like all these posts were everywhere. And then it's like, you have, like, do you have any idea how long it takes to put something together? Like, I tried. And the cover thing bothered me too. I couldn't figure it out. And I even downloaded a template and I couldn't get it done either. But
It's so annoying. You can try and do it over the template that you download, and then still it's not.
it's still, yeah, it rejected it so many times. I ended up taking what I made off for the moment, because again, it was like I would look at it and I was like, wait a minute, this is still the wrong color. No, wait, this isn't right. No, that and
Right.
like that's why I give you so much credit for this, because like I attempted to, like, I fell for the, oh, well, let's put something together and see how much you make in a month. And I was like, no.
You're like, please, God.
I'm ready for this commitment. This is not a commitment
Me
I'm
and
ready
Andy
for
are
yet.
proud. We hate the cover guidelines. We're proud haters of that. I mean, and why are we gonna make it like red? Okay, we hate red flags. I hate the red dots. Like, make it another color, please. Make it green. Make it some other color. Like, not red, please. And then you close your eyes and you just keep seeing the dots. It's like, no, it's haunting me.
Oh my goodness. All right. Some people probably assume that writing is a solo journey. And I know you mentioned, about getting some inspiration and collaboration, but did you write this entirely by yourself?
Yeah, I definitely did. But my favorite thing about this book is like I feel like there's so many pieces of people I love in it, or people that hurt me in it, or just like experiences that included other people. Or I even, for a minute, I took me away and I was like, who could this fit? Who in the world needs this? If you've ever struggled with an eating disorder, body image, chronic illness, heartbreak, anything, you can put yourself in my shoes. It's not really Rylan, it can be you when you read the book. So I think it involves a lot of people, but I solely sat down and wrote this. But within every chapter, you can kind of see a little piece of someone I love in there hidden in, or maybe shout it out. You never know. But it's really cute though, because like I know some people that like inspired a line, and I'll like send them like, hey, by the way, this is your chapter, winky face, and I'll like send them a little picture. So it just like it makes my heart happy that I know for a fact I'm making people I love feel warm and fuzzy when they read, but I'm also like putting words to feelings that people who maybe can't write, are experiencing, and I can write for them and their feelings and their experiences. So that definitely is what happens with my writing. I make sure I can kind of take myself out of it and say, will someone feel less alone if they read this, and can they fit themselves into my story? And if the answer is yes, we're good to go.
That's really sweet, especially like that. People know, I mean, the good parts, right? Let's talk about the good parts where you're
Always the good parts.
sending love to people,
Dude, it's
because
really
they've always had your back and things like
right.
that.
And I think, again, something I was saying to you when we started is writing is permanent. Once you submit a book, once you submit a chapter, that's there forever. So it doesn't matter if I never speak to this person again in my life. It's like almost a moment in time where they mattered to me, and I put a piece of my love for them into the world, and that will forever be there. No matter where that friendship or love story or whatever it is goes, it shows it mattered and it was real. If I write about it, it matters. That's how you know. That's how you know you're important. If I start writing about you, yeah,
For the next part, we admitted in the beginning that we like yap all the time. So some of these are like partially answered already, but the biggest supporters or even your influences along the way, are there any female authors, or I mean male authors as well? Is there anybody that really inspired you along the way?
Definitely. I look up to, I don't know if you know who Alyssa DeRogatis is. She wrote Call It What You Want, that really cute pink book with the telephone on it. I actually had her on my podcast, and that's when I started writing my book, like around that time, or really like not writing it, but really like making it so it would be a book. And I just was like, she's so badass. She self-published her book, and then the world loved it, and she just didn't let anything stop her. So I definitely had her in the back of my mind when I was, getting this into the world. And again, just so many people within my close circle, my mom, my friends, like I tend to really overthink and kind of just say, oh, well, I'm just Rylin. And it's nice to know that these people around me are like, you're not just Rylin. You've done this. This is who you are. This is your beliefs. This is you. And they kind of mirror back who I am, so I can, get the courage to touch my computer or to publish my book. And I really think it's amazing to have these people around you, because we can be our worst critics sometimes. If anyone's going to hate on me, it's probably going to be me. So I need to work on that. So I'm really grateful to have such amazing people that when I'm having having a moment where I'm like, should I even be writing a book? They can be like, yeah, you should, because you're amazing and you've been through all this and someone else needs to hear your story. So I'm really, really lucky to be loved. And again, the Instagram community truly, like, I just sometimes I'll wake up and I'll be like, these people on my page want to follow me because they like me and when I post, like, can I go cry in the corner? Like, that's so cute and sweet. Like, what? So again, like, I just wouldn't be where I am without just the people that I'm loved by. And just, again, you, like, I am inspired by you and just what you do. And, you know, it's important to surround yourself on Instagram and off Instagram with people that you can, at the end of the day, when the horrible overthinking human thoughts come in, you can be like, well, Annie doesn't care what people think. My mom doesn't care what people think. My best friend would come slap me if she knew I was trying to care what people thought, you know? And you just are like, you know what? So I can do this because I have at least 5 people that care about me.
That's a beautiful thing.
Right?
I think that something that I surprised someone with recently was we were talking about social media, and I'm like a big believer that there is such a positive way social media can be used.
I
And a
agree.
lot of times people focus on the negative aspect and they're like very quick to brush it off because, yes, people say mean things and this and that. But I think that, like, you mentioned about the community, there are so many people who just want to connect and find, I'm gonna like use the phrase safe space. Like so many people just want to connect and be able to meet other people who want a community that's
Right.
nice, that's kind, that's supportive. And for me, I will always say that that is 10 times easier to find on social media. Like I
Truly.
have a very tiny circle in real life for humans that like I actually interact with, but on social media it's 10 times bigger and I just feel like it's so easy to connect with people that you wouldn't really usually have the opportunity to connect with. Like people who are out in California.
Right.
I Unless I get on a plane and go there, I'm probably still not going to find them.
No, it's beautiful when you think about it that way because like I've met so many of my like best friends because of my Instagram page or just because of putting myself out there online, and it's so amazing that you don't even have to touch the state that a lot of these people are in to love them. Like you can really love from a distance. I believe in that, and I just think it's so beautiful that you can find like-minded people that get you, that see you all over the world, and you're just like, yeah, you're part of my circle now. Sorry, no refunds. Like, you know, it's just so beautiful to mirror yourself with people so similar to you that, yeah, you know, you don't have them every day, and that's kind of sad and it sucks, but hey, that can also change. But, you know, it's like, wow, like we're locked in and I've never even like hugged you. That's crazy. Like, what?
You literally, I'm not going to say it out loud, but you said something that gave me an idea for a t-shirt and I'll text you after.
I need to know now. I need to know. I feel like a lot of the stuff I'm saying is, and I'm just like, am I that quotable? Like,
You said something and I was like immediately in my head, that's going on a t-shirt. So
okay,
I'll text you what it is
I need
after.
to know. I need to know. And I need a shirt, please. You know.
Yes. So people picture authors writing entire books in a coffee shop surrounded by iced lattes or in a room full of books. What was your vibe? And if you could choose one, what would it always be?
Annie, my vibe was 1 a.m. looking at my computer, wondering why I'm still up, but deciding if I'm going to be up, I'm going to be productive and I'm going to knock this book out. It's so funny because my puppy, who's like not even, well, she's still a puppy. She'll be a year in December. We got her in February and she's my baby. We were potty training her. So she's like my co-author because I wrote a huge chunk of Once Upon a Time I Survived Myself with her sitting next to me, like trying to take her out, trying to just like get ready to take her out, you know, on dog mom mode. And she just sat with me as I was writing the book. So it's just so funny. It wasn't glamorous. A lot of it was like 1 to 2 in the morning, but it's cute. My puppy's like my co-author, and that book just means so much to me that I had her like just sitting there, like, you know, doing the journey with me. And, you know, when it got emotional, I was just like petting her and I was like, wow, like I'm not alone doing this. Like there's a little dog that's like watching me. um but you know, then when it got to waking hours and I was writing a lot of it, there was a lot of coffee included, obviously, Starbucks all day, every day. but I wrote a lot of it from my house, and I'm really grateful that it was from my house or outside, because I feel like that's my environment, and when I'm comfortable in my own space and in my environment, I can be comfortable with what I'm writing, and I'm most likely going to be my most expressive self, versus if I'm in a crazy coffee shop with people ordering, and I'll be like, oh, what are you getting? Like, I'm not going to be focused on my writing. I'm going to want to know what coffee they're getting and then tell them to get something else, because it's probably not going to be a good order. um so I'm really grateful that I was doing it from my own environment and from my little grass fairy land in my house, in my backyard. But I feel like writing by the beach would be really therapeutic, though. I'm not gonna lie, just like a really cozy spot at the beach, and just like make yourself like isolated from everyone, and it's just you, the water, and your computer. I feel like that would be so healing, though. Oh, and a coffee, of course, always a coffee.
You totally answered one of my rapid fire questions with that. Because hold on, I'm gonna find it now. It was your dream location to write your next book.
Yeah.
So we already covered that.
I think we did.
The beach is the vibe.
Right, it
When
is, and it's like quiet too.
yeah, when I was in Fort Lauderdale, I didn't have much time to go to the beach because I was there working on something. But it was like I went there as soon as the sunrise was up, I was there, and it was so quiet in the morning, and I just like sat there. It was me, the waves, some birds were hanging out, and it was good. I love it.
It's very healing.
You briefly mentioned on this, and it's completely up to you how much detail you want to get. But do you have plans for a second book?
I feel like this would be a great opportunity for me to publicly like announce. I do have plans for a second book, and I actually got the proof copy of it. So I already have it all like really ready to go. But of course, I'm like flipping the physical thing, and I'm like, do I like this? Do I want to edit this? What's going on? But it will come out February 2026, and it's called Everything Was Here But You. It is about the weird space of, you have quote unquote your dream life, you have the book, you have the brand, you have the podcast, maybe for my readers, you have the job you want, you have whatever. Everything looks like it's perfect, but you feel like there's something missing. And maybe that's a person, maybe that's a thing, but it's like this weird, you're almost being haunted by what you don't have, or the feeling of something's missing. And it's really healing, it's really poetic, and it's really beautiful. And I think it will resonate with a lot of people. I touch on heartbreak, grief, again, that weird, the party's over, but why do I feel lonely? Why don't I feel so celebrated? So I'm really excited for it to come out, and I think a lot of people will love it.
I'm so excited for you. That, like, hands down, I resonate with that so much, and that's really exciting.
Thank you. This one's definitely like about transformation. It's reflective, and I think it's not so survival. It's almost like, okay, what's next? We survived ourselves. How do we keep going? Almost. So I'm so excited. I think a lot of people will feel like it's a hug, because it's weird to be in that in-between space where you're not broken, but you're not really where you want to be yet either. And no one really talks about that. And that's what bothers me, because we're all humans and we all have these thoughts and feelings, but we all want to be fake and social media perfect or whatever, and act like we all live this amazing life every single day. And it's like, no, I want to see all sides of my favorite creator, or all sides of my favorite human being, because it's not so glamorous all the time. So I really think a lot of people will be like, damn, she just wrote how I felt my entire life.
That
Hopefully
is like,
that's what I want to do.
that's a beautiful concept, and I am so here for that. I cannot wait for this to come out. Um, yeah, that's so exciting. I love the topic. I feel like you are like spot on. That is 100% going to be something that a lot of people can relate to. I can relate to it for sure.
Aw, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna come give you a huge hug, actually. So
One
if you
day
see
we
if you see a 5'9" fairy at your door, that's me. So
One day we definitely will, for
yeah.
sure. If we discuss your creative process, so you mentioned that you wrote this late at night, you had your little puppy there. Do you feel that those are when you write your best, or maybe is it like when you said with the voice notes, does it just kind of keep coming to you and you make note of it and then tackle it later kind of thing?
That's what happens. It's weird because it's like I'll see something for a lot of the second book. I'm not writing just from my experience. I'm writing like as an empathetic person that has the ability to put herself in other people's shoes. So what I've noticed is I'll people watch. I'm like, that's an idea for a book. Or for my next book, like let's voice memo it in. Or I'll be like doing the dishes and something spontaneous will come to mind. I'm like, yep, I'm gonna, write that down later. Or it's some random thing like teacup. Okay, why is that standing out? What about that? Then I'll write the details. I'm like, let's formulate that into a chapter later. So I definitely think throughout the day or throughout whatever I'm doing, I'll get inspiration, but I'll just need to like, if I don't write it down, it's yeah, we're never going to see that idea. Like I don't care where I am. I don't care if people think I'm crazy. If I'm in the middle of Trader Joe's and I have an idea come to mind, I'm pulling out my phone. I'm writing it down. I need a napkin. I need a receipt. Like that has to come to the world. Like if it's in my mind, it needs to be expressed or else we'll never hear it. And it probably was something we all need to hear. So I literally once was like, I need a napkin. I need to write this down. They were like, what? I'm like, my phone is dead. I have an idea. I need your napkin and a pen. So yes, throughout the day for sure. And then late at night is just, I think it's so intimate and healing when no one else is awake. It's just you and your thoughts. And a lot of people are like, yeah, Rylin, I'm scared of my thoughts. I know. But for me, it's like when all my ideas come to mind and it's just me and my computer and I can finally just look back at all this crazy stuff that I was thinking during the day and articulate it. And I just think it's so peaceful and really like thought provoking to have inspiration during the day and then have the time at night where no one is talking to you or really like in your way that you can go back and say like, what was I trying to talk about at 9 a.m. that made zero sense? And then you articulate it and it's a chapter.
I love that for you. I'm
Oh,
a fellow night owl, so I will 100% like relate to what you're saying. I randomly have these thoughts and I just need to write them down because I learned my lesson way too many times that if I don't write it down immediately, I end up being like, okay, I thought of something before, but it's gone now and I don't know if it's ever going to come back.
yeah, it's like where did that idea go? Oh no, because knowing us, we're very creative, so it probably was like a really good idea, and it just disappeared.
We're going to move into some takeaways
I'm excited.
for today's episode, and then we still have a little rapid fire.
I'm ready.
So, what did writing this book teach you about yourself that you would encourage listeners that something that's important for them to learn about themselves as well? Maybe not necessarily writing a book, but
I would say that, obviously for me writing this book, I kind of had to walk shoes that I already walked years ago or gone through experiences again through writing. And I think a lot of times we think, okay, I'm gonna grow up or I'm gonna, it's my birthday, I'm gonna be a different age. The past is in the past. And I think it's okay to look at your life and sometimes resonate with younger you and who you were back then and just have some of the same ideas and thoughts and even go through the same things again. I think we as humans think we learn and then the lesson doesn't come back up. And it's okay if it does. Healing isn't linear, and you're most likely going to feel like you're starting over or have days where suddenly you're just crying again about something that happened 4 years ago. But I think it's okay if you sometimes still feel like you're 14 and no one likes you, just sit down with that version of yourself and, you know, maybe ask yourself what part of me still feels this way and kind of hold younger you in that moment. I think we rush healing and we think we just have to throw out who we used to be and become a completely different person for people to like us. But I think it's okay to really remember who you used to be and the journey that brought you to where you are, because you couldn't be here without that version of you. And again, healing isn't linear. You might go through some of the same things again, but it doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're starting over with a new mindset.
I love that. I feel like I keep saying that, but I really love everything that you're saying. So,
Oh,
what advice would you give to anyone with a big dream?
go for it. I think life is short. And if you have that, there's that quote I love. It's like, if you have that dream or idea and in your heart, it's there for a reason. Chase it, and people might think you're stupid or might say you're stupid or might think it's dumb and don't see it going anywhere. Keep going anyways, because what I've learned is like with life or social media or just with people, a broken mirror is going to judge a normal mirror. A broken mirror is not going to judge another broken mirror. And I've said this all over Instagram, but it's so true. Someone who maybe doesn't think that they can do something, achieve their dreams, be where you are, is going to sit there and hate on you. But someone who's also achieving their dreams or doing something creative is not going to hate on you. So you have to think about it that way and just keep going no matter who's judging you, because someone in a better position wouldn't be hating on you. You got to think about that. So go for your dreams, chase them. You have your dreams for a reason. And even if people tell you they're silly or they're not going to happen, chase them, because they are going to happen. We believe in manifestation over here. And yeah, chase your dreams. Drink coffee with them though, because us dreaming girlies, us big dreaming girlies need our coffee. Like that's how I've actually, guys, the secret to where I am right now is because of coffee. Starbucks sponsored. Not really. It should be though.
We'll tag them and see if we can get some coffee our way. No, but that quote that you said, that's something that I've always loved that quote. And I won't get into specific details right now, but I had my friend Jessie on an episode a few weeks ago, and she
Love
also,
her.
and she's so cute and I love her so much. So she is a Reiki master or a Reiki teacher. I'm not sure the proper terminology, but she also does tarot readings. So we sat down on the night of a full moon and she read my cards. And the insanity that came from it was exactly the dream that I had been thinking of. And the fact that it literally came up so specifically in the cards was absolutely terrifying. I took a picture of the cards because one day, like when this happens, I am going to show that reading publicly so everybody can see it. But it was pretty crazy because I have this dream that is pretty wild, but
It's
I'm
going to
so
happen.
determined.
It's going to
I'm
happen.
so determined. So
No,
we'll
and
see.
that's what I love. It's like I believe in intuition and I believe in my gut. And if my heart and my gut is saying this is meant for me, maybe it's not right now meant for me. Maybe it's gonna just be meant for me in a few years, but I trust in this, whether it's a connection, a person, a job or something. I'm like, you know what? That's going to happen then. Because if I feel so certain about something, then I know, like, for sure that's meant for me. Just maybe not at this stage in my life, but it's meant for me. Call me crazy, but I believe in intuition, truly.
I won't call you crazy. We are going to go into some rapid fire now. There's just a few. All
I'm
right.
ready. Let's do it.
So we may have already covered this. I'm not sure what you're going to say, but your favorite snack while you're writing.
Ooh, pretzels or cookie dough?
I am also a big cookie dough fan, I have to admit. It's a vibe. The song or artist you had on repeat while you were writing your book.
Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, Ariana Grande.
I love that trio.
Me
We
too.
already did your dream. Well, unless you have a different one, your dream location to write your next project.
I don't know about my next project, but maybe a future project, the Eiffel Tower. Like, I feel like that'd be so cool.
That is very cool. Ooh, I like that one.
Catch me there,
So-
guys.
Wait, didn't they like light it up pink recently, or was that just something? Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we have to go. Let's go, actually.
Yeah,
See you
right now.
later. Yeah.
Right now.
See you.
Your book or author who inspires you the most?
Hmm. I would say again, Alyssa DeRogatis. I just like love her work ethic and love her as a person, and just she really can show that like one day your life is normal and then next thing you know, people resonate with your writing and then you're known all over the world.
That's amazing. Your favorite animal?
Ooh, definitely a dog. I love dogs.
I'm a fellow dog person.
You get it.
Oh, see, I feel like, we've yapped so much. I think we covered these already. Morning person or night owl? Or maybe you're both.
Night owl girl. I'm not. I used to be a morning person. I'm not a morning person anymore. Mornings are so hard. I don't start my day till 11.
Your favorite season?
Ooh, I love fall, but fall in Florida is non-existent, so I'm gonna have to go with winter.
Okay. If you could be on any reality TV show, which one would you be on?
I don't know. I feel like Love Island would be so fun for me to be on.
Love Island is a vibe for sure. I
Fun.
actually didn't even finish this last season, but I
Oh,
think Instagram gave it away.
you,
So I
you
already know who won.
gotta stay off there for sure when you're watching
What?
it.
I did have rules for myself actually that I really shouldn't watch it. I mean, if you were on it 100%, I would watch it and cheer for you. But I did have some rules for myself that like I could not get into like binges like I had in the prior seasons of watching it. I feel like I binged it heavy when it wasn't even in the US yet, when it was just in the UK. That was when I kind of really started watching it. But yeah, I kind of like I can only do like a certain amount of episodes at a time, and then I need to like literally go out in nature and like reconnect with where I actually
No,
am.
it's so bad, especially when you're like, "Can I pull you for a chat?" And everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" You're like, "You don't get it." Like you
I
start.
did
No.
I did mess with my friend though after I started watching it, and I kept asking her if she wanted to go out on the terrace. Um, and it was just the deck, but I was like asking her if she wanted to go for a chat on the terrace, and she was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, the girlies that get it get it.
Yes, exactly. And the last one is what's the show you're currently binging?
Gossip Girl.
That is so
So,
good. I
so
think that's another show I could rewatch like every single season of for sure.
it's so good, and I'm just like, I've never seen it. This is my
Wait,
first
really?
time. This is my first time ever watching it, and I just like I'm obsessed with it. I'm just like, wait a minute. Like, hold on. And I feel like as a writer too, it's funny because, Gossip Girl writing, blogging, like that's just all that's going on in the show. And I'm like, okay, now I'm like, do I use this as some inspiration? Like, what are we doing? Like, why is it kind of giving me ideas? But it's so like insane. And a lot of people are probably going to relate. When I watch a show, I'm obsessed with it and I start quoting the show and then I find another show and then I do the same thing. Like, Beverly Hills 90210. I love that show and I'm obsessed with the vibes of that show. So I'll like fixate on the characters, I'll like quote random things, like whatever. And now, like right now, I'm doing that with Gossip Girl, but in a few months, it will be something else. Don't worry, guys.
I'm gonna ask you, I might have to like cover my here, I'll use your book to like cover my face for a second because I can't give it away. Do you have an idea of who you think Gossip Girl is?
I feel like, I don't know, I'm either getting Dan or Serena.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to tell you, obviously, because that would ruin the whole thing. But
I'm thinking it's Dan though because he's been a writer since the beginning of the show. And when I started, I'm on like the last season, so I haven't gotten to the reveal of it yet. But like I've been thinking, I'm like Dan has been a writer since season one. Like that's been his thing, and Gossip Girl's thing is writing and observing. And he's also been lonely boy, quiet boy, like really always everywhere, but kind of to himself. So that's why I'm leaning more towards him. But Serena loves her gossip and drama. So I'm like, I think it's more Dan though. I'm not gonna lie.
well, you need to text me when you finish it and you finally know who it is.
I will. I'll send you my reaction too.
Okay, good. Because we have to leave it at that because I can't let like my face give anything away. I want you to let everybody know where they can find you on social media or where they can support you, find your book.
Aw.
Go for it.
Okay, you can find me on Instagram. I have two accounts. One is my life and a lot of my author stuff. That's RYLIN ROSEE. That one's more fun, Rylin the person. And then for Rylin the brand, the wellness girl, the podcaster, you can find Take Care by RY on Instagram. And I'll follow you back on both. So go check me out. And then if you want to support the book, you can search on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. Once Upon a Time, I Survived Myself. And if you want to find my podcast, maybe you do. Maybe you're like, I'm done with this girl. I don't know. It's up to you. You can find Take Care of Your Body by RY on all platforms. I talk to different health and wellness professionals about topics that I want to learn about. So if I want to learn about them, you probably do too. And also some really cool people like Annie. And we just talk a lot about self-love, self-care, wellness, health, all the things. And it's just girly chat hour always on that show. So go check it out. Support me. I'll support you back. And let's spread the good world of healing, happiness, and love because we need more of it.
So true. And we love a girl's girl. So thank you so much for joining me today. This was so fun. And I'm so excited for everyone to hear this episode. And I can't wait for you to tune in next week.
Bye.